Chichu just tapping that spike to draw out some of the util and does so effectively. Drone now for the reclear. That's going to get the ping onto him. I believe. No, broken just in time. Swing out from Mata. Loses that isolated 1v1.
Paranoia here is going to put Brock out of commission for a couple of moments. Slowly here, through backside. Finally Scuba arriving at the scene, but it's a bit of a wasteland for him there, and Kang is ready to receive him. At this point, Brock might be better served holding onto his weapon.
No choice but to save. EDG converting on their bonus round now. Offers some serious aggression initially up towards mid, which is a benefit of having the Neon for sure. That is a lot of ground to cover for people that are walking at normal speeds, but not the Neon. I mean, that is one of the big issues that you have to confront when you're playing on Abyss. The map is massive. When you're playing on Abyss, the map is massive. You have to just cover so much ground at all times. Brock going to be able to save that rifle at the very least.
Smoggy finally put to bed after a ridiculous opener in this game. 7-1 currently. Note that Simon's got that Reckoning online quite early, feeding orbs into it. Also kills as Jenny turned up on him.
And look, at least in Americas, this NRG team has a pretty deep map pool. It's only really Sunset and Bind where they were struggling. Everything else they were looking very solid on, and that includes Icebox, which has been swapped out for Abyss. Now Icebox, that was EDG's worst map. Now they get Abyss back, which at least in 2024 was a great map for them. So that's just a bad situation for NRG to be in, and we have to find out if Abyss is going to be a competent enough map to replace Icebox in their pool, which was so solid.
Definitely a bit of a hit to this NRG squad. Bonkar already in the boys' ears. It's a timeout called just prior to round number 4. And I think they're going to have to adapt to this pace we're seeing from EDG up mid. It's early drone onto B, maybe pull some players out, and then that library control there slamming. Jenny just sprinting down mid. Also, Kang with great mobility on that Yoru. EDG can cover a lot of this map, and the rotations are slow for defenders. Pulling them out of position with the misdirection that Yoru can provide can really soften up these sites in advance.
I do like this early timeout call from Bonker. I think this is the right time to do it, honestly. The team is going to be able to force up, especially around Psalm's Reckoning here. Another tool that is very effective for a retake situation that NRG could find themselves in. And I think that's really going to be the name of the game for them, playing for big retakes around this harbored utility. But they have to make sure they don't lose too much of that map control early, lose players getting picked off early in these isolated situations like we saw in the prior round.
Dart there. Not getting any catches. Kang's happy to walk up here, and it looks like a ping out on Ethan. He has to give that ground away, deploy the one-way, and now Energy scrabbling back on the side to try and get Ethan. Spots it's Brock out in the open. Ethan gets involved though, saves his teammate's life, and Kang is down early.
Ends up being the perfect double face and the ideal situation for NRG. Retake with the Reckoning and that man.
With the high-low setup over at B.
A little awkward with Judy swinging out while that orb was being taken. Smoggy catches a very low HP Brock on that rotate. It's just Ethan on the A side. Really, his only job at this point is to stay alive, right? Just teleport away back towards spawn.
The retake potential is there behind this Reckoning. So NRG might look to play a little safer off this side. It is just Ethan who's pinged out. Paranoia already loaded up, and there'll be a res here on Kang bringing the Yoru back into the fray. Here's the high tide. More stall now. Reckoning going to be deployed. Slow orbit Ethan's feet.
There's just such little time for EDG that Psalm is ready to commit that ult.
Nobody on the wrong side of the wall here is going to have
10 seconds left.
Probably get to the backside at some point, and there's already a timer. Tick-tock! Here comes Cuba from the backside. Kang and Chitu have to throw down on the side. They cannot get the spike stuck. Chitu, last standing, trying to get away in a tower, but there's a wall in his way, one of his own design. He'll fight for his life and lose it. Scuba for 4.
Well, that beautiful timing on the flank is how he collects those 4. NRG offers so much delay. I love that decision from Psalm.